Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to be going over what I think the best loadout for each playstyle is in Season 5 of Fortnite. I'm going to be covering the best way to play solos with certain guns, as well as how to play duos with certain guns, since you're probably getting blue weapons this season. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button. It's completely free, and you could always change your mind later. You don't realize how much it helps out us YouTubers. I'm making videos just like this one every single day until Christmas to make sure you're the best player possible. With a community like you guys, come on, the least I can get. So without further pause, let's get into the video, baby. Alright, so let's go over the three types of loadouts that we're gonna be talking about today. First, it's going to be the aggressive W gear loadout. The second is going to be the passive fighter loadout. And then the third is going to be a box fighting loadout. This all applies just for solos. I'll get into duos in just a bit. Starting off with the aggressive W gear loadout. I think that if you're W gearing this season, it definitely pays off with attack. I know that you've probably seen the clips of Reed dropping 20 bombs, and he's actually using the Dragon Shotgun P90. I think that if you use TAC P90 or TAC AR, I think that's the best combination to W key right now. Shotguns in the game are extremely weak right now, so if you have a great spray weapon like a P90 or a Scar, for the two best spray weapons in the game right now, I think that's your key to success in W keying. When it comes to utility, I think shockwaves are the best, obviously the best mobility in the game right now, and then usually double med after that. Alright, so for the next loadout we're going to be covering the passive fighter loadout. For this loadout, it's more of just a passive player, you know, if someone doesn't like to take too much fights, maybe sit back and third party and spray a little bit. For this, I think the best shotgun to run is also the TAC. There's not really too much of a specification for this shotgun, I just think the TAC is better overall for fighting with. I think that when it comes to the AR, I think the heavy AK would be your best bet. If you're a passive fighter, you tend to sit far away from the shots, and something that has the least bullet drop off in the entire game is the heavy AK. I think if you're also sitting back and you're playing a very passive style, you might be tanking damage when you're shooting your shots. I think triple med for this would be actually a really good idea. You can run triple med, you could run shock double med if you want to shockwave from fights, but it's your choice. I think triple med is a really interesting suggestion for this loadout, because of obviously the damage that you're trading. The final loadout we're going to be discussing, it's the box fighter loadout. I think that if you're a box fighter like myself, you want to play your angles the right way, and if you're playing your angles the right way, the charge is the best gun in the game to do that right now. If you're able to take shots without taking damage back, which means that you're taking a charge shot and you're not getting a shot back by attack or a charge, the charge is the best gun for a box fighter because they're taking good angles. With that, I think an AR is normal, just so you can have a spray weapon to spray walls, a harpoon after that to break, and then double med like usual. Next, we're going to be going over the duo loadout meta. All that I've been explaining before has been strictly for solos. Now we're getting into duos. Like I said, we're probably getting a duo weapon CS this season, so it's extremely important to know what we're carrying in duos. Obviously in duos we have two roles. We have the IGL/support and the fragger. So, let's start off with the IGL. I think the best shotgun for the IGL is the TAC. If you're using an attack, you're sitting back and you're taking shots at your opponent from a distance, while the fragger is going in and doing all of the damage face up. I think after that, an AR would be good since it's the fastest fire rate AR. It helps you shoot with your fragger so that you can support from a distance. Obviously with the IGL, you're carrying the most movement, so make sure you're carrying shocks if you have, and the majority of the bouncers. Finally, carry double med, but not any med. Make sure you're carrying the white meds, carry the med kit, carry the flops, carry the bandages, and then probably something like a 50 pot. The longer meds to take, not the quick meds. Moving on to the fragger now, I think that the best shotgun for the fragger is whatever they want to take. If they like the chac, they like the charge, go for it. Whatever they like to take, let them take it. They're the fighter, they make the calls during fights. After that, obviously, if you can get a P90, you put that in the hands of your fragger. It's the most OP gun in the game right now by far, and you could just shove it up people's faces and hit people quick dead in like 8 to 11 shots. It's so OP, you should have your fragger take it. For this season, I have a very unpopular opinion about the AK. I think that it might be the better epic and legendary AR. I think that if your fragger has a P90 in their loadout, it would make sense to take an AK to shoot shots at range. since the P90's bullet drop-off is surprisingly good. So if you have your fragger taking attack or charge, a P90 and AK, you want to have them have the quick meds as well, right? Because they're fighting in the face of the opponent. So give them the minis, give them the chug splashes. So that's all the time I got for this video. Hope you have an absolutely amazing day, and I hope you can use what I told you. God bless.